Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself Suprit, and this is the AEW Dynamite review for October 25th, 2020. And I'm joined by Abhishekh Aneja, aka Abby Maniac. What's up, Abby?
I'm absolutely fine, Suprit. How about you?
I'm
How are
doing
you
good.
doing?
I'm doing good as well. So, what did you think about this go home show? Is that right?
Yes,
Yes, I got
sounds
got
about
it
right.
right this week. The go
Yes,
home show for the next big Dynamite.
yes, winter is coming. It's how I guess this show was, you can say, there was a lot of things that happened, a lot of things, which you can say they are possibly they are having repercussions for the foreseeable future, and also there are things which have immediate repercussions for next week. There were many things which we got presented which have immediate impact on the battle royal which is happening next week, in which MJF is defending his diamond ring, and we saw other stuff too which happened. We would be going through that as well. So there were things which were good, which were great, which I'm very you can say satisfied to see. The attire graphic which I saw, I'm very much you can say happy to see that it gives a sports, you can say, a sports narrative to the stuff, and it should be, I guess, followed in every match if it can be, so that new fans, if they are also tuning in, they can also get invested in the action straight up, that they can get in the action, that the team or the competitors who are wearing this attire is this, and who are wearing this attire is this. So it can get involved the those fans too, probably who are MMA fans. They can get in this pro wrestling realm easily, probably. So it is good to see that new things are getting in here in AEW.
Yeah, I agree with your points that you mentioned there, but um, I think overall it was a decent dynamite. But the thing that bothers me, especially when it comes to taped shows, I hate the fake crowd noises, and it really takes down the energy of the show a little down.
I agree. I agree.
There's a reason I don't watch Monday Night Raw anymore.
I can concede to that. It was a taped show. It was very apparent, and yes, it also felt. You can see that it is. You can see the action is rushed. It is very much rushed. So you can see that it is a taped show. When it is a live show, or then it is very much in real time. It is smooth and it is going with the flow. It doesn't look rushed. It looked rushed. It looked a lot rushed, and it was actually. They have done such things in the past as well. I have observed that. So they did it because they have to, uh, you can say, concise the action in the midst of 2 hours and they also have to get the commercial breaks too. And so I guess that is, and with regards to your point of crowd reaction, yes, they can do some uh, stuff with regards to that, not have piped in crowd reaction. If they have the audience there, you can put. a better audio in place so that you can get the reaction, or and if you are not getting the said reaction, if you are not getting the said reaction which you want, then probably you are putting out a decent show, in my opinion. So then do a better job with regards to the piped crowd or noise, because it was not as good as it should be, because you were bothered and I was bothered too, because there is a way to do piped noises too. It is not that just have random shit noise at sporadic events. No, there is a way to do that as well. So
So on the show, we had Hangman Page versus John Silver. We had Will Hobbs. Now he's called Powerhouse Hobbs, so he was in action. We had the contract signing for the AEW World Championship that was incomplete. We had Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, so they faced SCU. Shida defended the AEW Women's Championship against Anna Jay, and the main event was Ray Phoenix and Pac versus Butcher and Blade. But before that, if you are new to this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We here in Slamhub Wrestling cover all pro wrestling related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. So this week's Dynamite kicks off with Hang- Hangman Page versus John Silver. So the story of this match was that the Dark Order in the past have tried to recruit Hangman Page, whether it was in Dynamite or on being the Elite. So we had a pre-match promo for John Silver. So he also brought up the same fact. He said he will win tonight. Johnny Hunt. Both men go for a lockup. Silver getting the better of the exchanges. So Silver now wants a flexing competition, but Page is not interested. So he hits a punch. Page with some chops and a big back body drop. Silver with some offense hits a crossbody for a 2 count. Silver with some chops and kicks to the chest. Page picks up as Page misses a springboard clothesline. So Silver misses a dive. Page hits a plancha. Back in, Page hits a sliding lariat for a 2 count. Silver made a comeback and he went full mental here. We had a injiguri into a German followed by a brain buster for a near fall. So Silver with more kicks to the chest, but this fire up Page. We get a little back and forth. So Page hits a sit out powerbomb for a 2 count. Uh, so finally, Page hits a buckshot lariat, and that gets in the win. It was a very okay match. Another great showing for John Silver. But what did you think about this match?
yes, the John Silver going full mental. It was a indie sport fest. It became a indie sport fest basically, and I am not against too much with regards to that. It was entertaining. It was entertaining as fuck. Seeing such spots that bam, 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 and that offense, it is great. It is great. It was a great showing for John Silver. Kudos to him. And it seems like they are going forward with regards to John Silver, and commentators also accentuated the fact of his internet fan following, and probably now he is getting to the forefront now, that he would be taken seriously because he got a ton of offense against a legit competitor like Adam Hangman Page, who is one of the top dogs of the promotion, All Elite Wrestling. So that's the case here, and it was a, From the initial part of the match, I would like to say that it was a good work with regards to the story coverage of Hangman Page and the Dark Order by the officials of AEW, that they showed the clipping of uh, being the elite and also the past, that what has happened between Hangman Adam Page and Dark Order. So it is good. We have discussed this in our past reviews, so they have taken the such suggestions because these points get the fan invested. So it is great to see that. And Hangman Page was last seen on the pay-per-view competing against Kenny Omega in the finals of the tournament. And Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order had an interaction some time ago when I pointed out that he could have been a bit jealous or envious of the Brotherhood of the Dark Order because his friends don't have his back every so often. His friends, that is basically the Young Fox and Kenny Olivier. So he could be, I mean, Hangman Page could be open, quite possibly, to join this group. This I wrote at the initial part of the match where I didn't know what would be happening post match. And also, if we take the FTR and Hangman Page interaction, what happened between them also into consideration, the common denominator is the same: a sense of brotherhood, a sense of support, and a sense of belongingness. That is all, I guess, what Hangman Adam Page is thirsting for, possibly. And with regards to John Silver, he had a great flurry of offense at the initial part of the match. It looked great. The commentary I have just said that they put over his internet fan following and his performance at the pay-per-view against Orange Cassidy. Probably they are going to take him more seriously. It is great, and it also uh, resonates, and it is also kind of a similar career trajectory like Orange Cassidy, that he was a comedy character and then he got to be taken seriously. Then he had bouts against the likes of Chris Jericho, Cody, and then he got to a main event player because he had such a cult following that he became a main event player. So probably that could happen to John Silver too. So we have to see what happens with regards to John Silver of the Dark Order. He got a ton of offense, a ton of offense. And Hangman Adam Page looked sleep deprived when he entered the ring in the initial part with his blackheads and stuff. He has been drinking, possibly. It is what it is. And there was a Reddit post which I also shared on my Instagram at Abby Maniac, which was that who attacked John Moxley last week. I also speculated that it would be Hangman Adam Page, and that Reddit post had this thing that said that Moxley was laying on the ground when the officials were checking up on him. He was in a position which was similar to the Hangman tarot card. So that also directs us to quite a narrative that it could very well be Hangman Adam Page who was the assailant at that time. So we have to see. And alcoholics are not very good uh, attackers. We saw John Moxley coming back this week. So it is what it is. So probably whatever happened, it is very, intriguing, so to speak.
So you're talking about theories here. So I have another theory, and it's a little simple one. So this guy named Kenta posted a video of landing somewhere. Maybe he's back in the United States. Maybe filming for the American New Japan shows. Why not a appearance in Dynamite?
If it can happen, then why not? If it can happen, why not? Uh, it is it is quite possible, but they could give that also. I have no problem, and it would also save them the time with regards to building up their match, which is happening at Wrestle Kingdom.
Not official yet, but they can start building up.
Hmm.
But back to Hangman Page. So they had a little post-match promo here. So what happened was Dark Order came out and Evil Uno was on the mic. So he said how Page has been a part of the elite and how they abandoned him. So that's why the Dark Order want to help him, and they threw Page a offer to join the Dark Order. So two things can happen here. Either he joins and he can be their second Colt Cabana, or maybe start feuding with them, and we could see this leading to a future match between Hangman Page and Brody Lee.
Hmm. If he joins, then he would possibly be you can say the second ranked guy, and he would be gunning against Kenny Omega, who would be winning the championship next week. And Brody Lee right now, I guess, is injured, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So they need someone to head them. So why not a guy who needs a brotherhood like Adam Hangman Page?
Yeah. Any scenario can work here regarding
Yes.
storyline.
Hmm. It is interesting. It is interesting. It is intriguing. It's great.
We had Kenny Omega, so he was being interviewed. He talks about how he thinks, uh, so how things have changed in the past year, and how Moxley is being called the best in the world right now. He said once he takes the AEW championship from him, then he will be back to being the best. He said he wants Moxley to leave his garbage wrestling at home and rely on his abilities. He congratulates Moxley for the big news and leaves, only to come back and recalls what Moxley said about his dad last week. He said that his dad will beat the shit out of Moxley's dad. So there you go. That is heel Kenny Omega.
Hmm. It's good. It's good. It's great, and I'm looking forward to next week's battle. And it is going to be a straight up, wrestling match, and they are building up towards that it is no garbage, no bullshit, straight up wrestling match, New Japan style, and what we have seen both their avatars in New Japan. So if they can bring that here on weekly television for just one match, then it would satisfy all the fans who are wanting to see Kenny Omega in all his glory and also John Moxley. What we have seen from him in New Japan and do
You know what will satisfy the fans?
what?
If they do this match commercial free.
Yes, I would concur. I would agree. I would agree.
So, continuing with Dynamite this week, we had Powerhouse Hobbs. So he faced Lee Johnson, who is the new member of the Nightmare family.
What the fuck is happening, yeah?
So
Okay.
this didn't last long as it was a very glorified squash match. So Johnson tried to avoid Hobbs with his speed. Hobbs took down Johnson. So action went to the outside as Hobbs sent him to the barricades. Excuse me. So back in Hobbs, it's a front power slam, and that was it. Nothing much here. It was a it is just done to get a big win for Will Hobbs, and now that he's a member of the Team Taz stable. What did you think about this?
Yes, it was yes, an enhancement talent sort of a match, and now he is called Powerhouse Hobbs, not Will Hobbs, as now he is a villain, he is a heel. So no will, no willing from the fans now. It is now Powerhouse Hobbs, and he was donning the orange color of Team Taz, and he looked legit. He looked like a fucking monster, and he did what was supposed to be done. Rather than having a 10 to 15-minute match with an enhancement talent, wink wink Kenny Omega, he did what was supposed to be done. Squashed the insect of the Nightmare family, Lee Johnson.
So post match, Taz comes in. He tells Hobbs to go to the back and celebrate. So Taz is mad that AEW is not recognizing the FTW Championship as an official title. So he demands some answers. So his mic gets cut off. So what he did was he takes Justin Roberts' mic and says if they cut this mic too, then he will go to the commentator's desk and use the headset. So Cody comes out and he wants little peace. He said they will settle everything in next week's tag team match. Taz is not satisfied here. So Cody brings up that Taz's son is training in the Nightmare Factory. So Taz didn't like this comment, and as Cody's back was turned, he locks in the Taz mission on Cody until the natural nightmares come for the save. I actually like this segment, this post-match segment. Taz was great on the mic, and how they did stuff here, like now it is personal. So
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to what they do next.
I also agree with that. I also enjoyed that. It looked very much legit at some points. It looked real. And with the fact that they also convinced us also that it is real, that when Taz was saying shit off mic also, that it looked real. And that is, these are some moments or some things which get the crowd invested, and which the other talents should also take note of, in my opinion.
Shoot promos are the best promos.
Yes, shoot worked promos and getting it, it gets the fans invested. Yes, absolutely. Real with real, it works. It works. It was a great promo with Taz and Cody Rhodes. It was great, and also the fact that uh, he brought up the FTW championship point, which we have discussed possibly many a times. That why is it not being defended? What is the legitimacy? They can just throw it up to the other guy. We also, I guess, said once or twice, probably last week or last to last week, that they could give it to Will Hobbs. No, last week possibly, that it doesn't have any fucking legitimacy. So give it to Will Hobbs only. Then Brian Cage can go for the TNT championship. So it can go to the head of Taz also if he hears that there is no fucking legitimacy of the championship, then what the fuck is happening that people are saying such shit? So that then you see such shit transpiring on television that give it legitimacy, and he is asking the officials that I want an answer right now with regards to the championship. It is not getting defended on Dynamite, it is getting defended on Dark, and we do not know what the fuck that championship represents even now, right now. It has a past with regards to the original ECW promotion, but what about now? So these things are quite possibly real, and when they get mixed up in real, it makes for interesting television. Absolutely, I agree with that. I agree with that. And it has now made us more invested in this whole TNT championship or FTW championship whole dynamic. I agree. I dig it. We have the Gun Club, we have Taz's Kid, Hook, we have Powerhouse Hobbs, we have Ricky Starks, we have Brian Cage, we have Taz, we have Cody Rhodes, we have the FTW Championship, we have the TNT Championship, we have Darby Allin. There are so many things in this. I dig it.
We also have the top flight. So these guys faced Hybrid 2 this week. It was coming off what happened last week where top flight got attacked by Hybrid 2. So back to this match here, we had Angelico and Darius starting off. Yeah, so they started with a little technical style and tag made to Dante as double team moves follow on Angelico. Tag made to Evans as TS2 were in control. So we went to commercial. TS2 was dominating here. Back from commercial, Darius got a hot tag as he ran wild. Top Flight got to do their back-to-back dives. So at one point, Evans did a assisted 450 for a two count. Angelico looking for a razor's edge, but Dante counters it into a code red for a two count. So final parts of the match saw Darius getting sent to the outside. So Angelico locks in a submission on Dante for the win, and that was it. Yet another good showing for Top Flight here. It was a right call for TH2 to win here. I think they are going forward and building this program with young bucks. What did you think about this match?
Yes, it was a great competitive match between the two teams, and TS2, the Hybrid 2 getting the win is welcome in my eyes, because I have said in the past also that they are an underrated team. They have proven their worth at Lucha Libre AAA, and they
Well,
have
sorry to cut you off, but it is a logical thing, creative or not. Because why will a young team that just debuted last week will beat a team that has been for a year or so, and it is very more established than them?
agreed, agreed. But it has happened in the past, if you have followed WWE programming, that the team who debuts or guy who debuts, he gets a push to, like a rocket is put on him, and he doesn't lose.
Yeah.
We have seen that in the past,
But
but
in this,
this, yes, this was logical booking. I agree with you. I
yeah.
agree with your point. I agree with your point. This was logical booking, and giving TS2 a platform also. To accentuate their point and to accentuate their talent in front of the crowd, the worldwide crowd, is great. They are an underrated team, and it was a great competitive match between the two teams. I agree, and giving them a title shot in the future would not be a bad idea. If it probably happens in a triple threat match, which has the Young Bucks, Top Flight, and TH2, it won't be a bad idea. Would not be the worst thing in the world. And the story with regards to this match was that TH2 had a segment on Dark with Britt Baker. Britt Baker was doing enhancement talent matches, which you suggested, and now she has been demoted to Dark. What a
Yes,
sad day.
she has got a big talk show on Dark, dude. Come on.
All right, all right. It was called the waiting room. Yes, she is waiting, all right. Calling out uh, TH2 had this segment calling out the other tag teams of the roster and saying that they are coming after the World Tag Team Championship. All right. And Top Flight. Top Flight got signed after their great outing last week against the tag title holders, the Young Bucks. Now, see what I did there? I didn't say the tag team champions. I say the tag title holders. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
A-
Yeah, yes.
And they, Top Flight were a phenomenal ratings draw in the United States. There was a statistic which was floating around. I do not remember that, but yes, they were a great ratings draw last week. So that could also have been a catalyst uh, with their talent to getting signed, of course. So that was with regards to the story, and there was a great spot with the Tope Suicida and Tope Con Hero in quick succession, which was amazing by Top Flight. And as you just said, TH2 won via submission. It was a great competitive match, and I was very happy that TH2 finally got a victory.
Yeah, so post match Hybrid 2 continued their attack as Young Bucks came for the save, and that was it.
Glory Hogs, the young bucks, the glory hogs as they are, they came to the aid of Top Flight when they got ambushed.
From that, we get to a Vicky Guerrero promo segment. So she talks about what happened last week with Brandy Rhodes. She says she is here. She says Brandy Rhodes is here just because of nepotism, and also brought up the involvement of Serena Deeb and Red Velvet in last week's segment. So something is, I think, what I predicted last week in that fantasy booking of mine. Something they are doing something with Nyla Rose and Serena Deeb gets involved, and we could see a potential NWA Women's Championship match between the two.
That's great. That could be great. Uh, I have no cons with regards to that. Uh, right now, they have, I guess, and three, three and three ladies on the opposite sides, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
So let's see what happens because they have to stretch this Cody versus Shaq bout uh, till the pay-per-view, which is in February. So they have to maintain the presence of Jade Cargill, if I'm not wrong. That's her name. So they have to maintain her presence on Dynamite. So they have to come up with something. So they are doing it, and also Brandy Rhodes is in the mix as she is the better half of Cody. So there is some interaction indirectly. So it is great. Looking forward to it.
We had a promo segment for the former AEW tag team title holders. See what I did there? We had FTR and Tully Blanchard. So they said they didn't care about their match from Full Gear being called the greatest tag team match ever. They said Young Bucks were the best tag team for only 3 seconds. Tully Blanchard said that they will be regaining the tag team titles very soon. And I hope it's not that soon enough, maximum after 3 months or so.
Mhm. I would want as soon as possible, but yes, logical booking suggests absolutely. It's they can give them a lengthy reign to maintain the legitimacy of the tag team championship because it got eroded somewhat when it their tag title reign just got halted midway, I suppose, by the Young Bucks. But nonetheless, they had something in store in mind with regard. I'm talking about the officials. So they, uh, whenever the Young Bucks get dethroned, it would be quite possibly FTR or a better tag team. I don't know if there is any, but nonetheless, give them some time with the titles. It is only fitting and it is only fair to the titles, not the Young Bucks. See what I did there?
We had SCU versus Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. So Inner Circle was accompanying Jericho and Hager here. We had Daniels and Jericho starting off, as commentator mentioned how these two have never crossed paths. So they go for some basic sequence here as Daniels got better of the exchanges. So tag made to Gazarian as they start working on Jericho. Jericho was somehow able to tag in Hager as he started beating up Kazarian in the corner. So Inner Circle is in full control at this point. Tag made to Daniels. He tried to get some offense, but he gets stripped. So Hager sends Daniels to the outside as Inner Circle starts stomping on Daniels. So Jago got the tag as he continued to work on Daniels. Tag finally made to Kazarian. He's taking out everyone at side. So Daniels back in. He does a great tope on Hager to the outside. Daniels with a flatliner and the best moonsault ever gets a 2 count. So a little distraction. This allows MJF to hit Daniels with the dynamite ring. Jericho hits the Judas effect, and that was it. Nothing much here. Inner Circle were made to look strong, obviously. And what did you think about this match?
Yes, it was a decent match, I guess, and there was at one point also a call by one of the commentators that we have one of the deepest tag rosters, and these teams could be at uh, some point in the future could be gunning for the tag team championship. So probably, so it is great if possibly the team of Jake Hager and Chris Jericho are in contention at some point of time for the tag team championship. They could put over some team, or they, if they even win the championship at some point, that could also be, you know, not bad at all or a worst idea in the world because it would give the other teams on the roster a point that they can challenge them for the championships and they could have matches and that would also put eyes on them as well. More eyes on the new talents and the other tag teams as well. And it would be great. Nonetheless, this was a decent bout. The only point which was the selling point with regards to this match, which you just suggested, was that this was the first time meeting of Chris Jericho and Christopher Daniels of their whole career. They are basically veterans of this game. First time we are seeing the new inner circle in action at ringside. MJF is here. Now they are back from Vegas. In the initial part of the match, they applied the isolation technique on Kazarian, the inner circle, for a few minutes. And MJF, as the commentator suggested, would be defending his Dynamite Diamond ring next week in the annual Battle Royal. And
Speaking about the Dynamite Diamond Ring, so I said this same question last year. What is the main uh, motive of the Dynamite Diamond Ring?
MJF is a heel. He uses it as a weapon. So that is his selling point. He used it like that. Now, if a babyface wins, like say for instance, the guy who came to the aid of the babyfaces post-match, if he wins, I don't know how will he use that. Possibly just you can say how it is just you can say uh, like a trophy of sorts, just like I am on a pedestal, just like that, a selling point, nothing else.
If that's the case,
Because
then if that's the case,
th
they should have put more effort to explaining that. Even last year, I hope they do it next week. Like, what is the main motive of winning this Diamond Ring?
mhm. All right. They should because I can understand. Right. MJF used it quite nicely, so I can give him the all the things that, and he also possibly you can say inspired many of the shenanigans from Cody's run in Ring of Honor, which he did with the title. When he won the championship, he made it into a ring. If you would be remembering it
I remember
because
that.
yes, and he used it for his shit. So it was very much inspired, possibly, but nonetheless, now if a babyface wins, possibly this time, then what happens? That could be a creative thing. Then you have to put your creative wheels in motion and come up with something. Then you can give him that he is using it in some shape or form, or is it to it has been to some advantages to his career, or maybe just to flash it off to people. Possibly MJF has used it in number of times to win matches and stuff like that. And with regards to also in this match, we saw, I guess, for the first time, I have not seen that before, the attire graphic, which I mentioned at the top of the show. The attire graphic, red and black. It was a nice touch. I would like to say do it with other matches too, and then we saw it in the other matches also with the new talents joining the fray and then getting the fans invested. It would help in that regard.
So post-match, Kazarian attacked MJF as Inner Circle ganged up on him. So Scorpio Sky came out with a chair to chase all the heels out. And I wrote here, this was the third time here of the night where a babyface chased out a heel or heels in a beatdown.
Mhm. Uh, I would not like to complain with regards to that, but nonetheless, it is a part of storytelling. So I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt that a babyface, came to the aid of his friends when they got ambushed post-match with the steel chair, and all the members of the inner circle retreated to the outside. And now we can possibly see that Scorpio Sky is a very strong contender, it seems, to win the ring, the Dynamite Diamond ring next week, possibly. And also, whatever happened in this match, I guess that they are going with the long drawn out story with regards to MJF and Chris Jericho. Just like we discussed, and I suggested that they should go with that. It would be great with regards to their long term storytelling, their long term television program. Because we didn't see any interaction, any hostility between MJF or Chris Jericho.
Yeah, they are on the right path here. Like everything, everyone has something to do. Jericho and Hager are doing their stuff. MJF can do something separately too, while being in the inner circle.
Hmm. Yes.
So from that we get to the AEW Women's Championship match: Hikaru Shida versus Anna Jay. We had a video package highlighting the feud, the history between these two women. So Dark Order and Ty Conti accompanied Anna Jay here. Match begins with a lockup, and Anna Jay started to go for the choke early on. Shida with a dropkick and a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. So action went to the outside. Shida misses a running knee. Jay sent Shida into the barricade. So at one point, uh, NRJ asked Conti for a chair, but Conti hesitated. So referee didn't allow the chair. So a slight distraction allowed Jay to get Shida's kendo stick and swing at Shida's injured knee that was mentioned in the video package. So Jay went for a pin here, but gets a 2 count. So Jay got the choke, but Shida escaped. At the end, it was Shida hitting the Tamashi knee for the win, and that was it. It was what it was. We didn't see a lot from Anna Jay here. What did you think about this match here?
I guess it was a decent match. It was competitive, but it was a decent match with regards to that. And I guess the story which they told was that Anna Jay, when she first made her presence felt on AEW, that is when she made her debut on April 1st. What a nice date. On April 1st in AEW, she made her debut against Hikaru Shida and she lost. And then she said that she was an inexperienced rookie and now she is not. So that was basically it. And with regards to Taya Conti and Anna Jay, they have developed a relationship during the Women's Tag Cup, which happened on YouTube, which nobody watched. And Taya Conti has not yet joined the ranks of the Dark Order. She was not wearing their colors.
She's also the just like Cold Cabana, an unofficial member.
She, is she a member? I don't think so. She has yet accepted the offer. She is just, accompanying Anna Jay to her
Yes, yes,
matches.
yes. You're right.
Uh, oh, and Anna Jay has had multiple submission wins under her belt against Brandy Rhodes. She has choked her out multiple times uh, via submission in the ring. I am talking about in the ring. Your dirty minds. And the attire graphic, it was a nice touch. It is great. Please, if you can, then do it for possibly every match if it is possible. And in a match between Taya Conti and Red Velvet 2 weeks ago, when Taya Conti was accompanied by Anna Jay and Red Velvet was by Brandy Rhodes, obviously. Anna Jay offered Taya a steel chair to use it on her opponent without the ref knowing to get the win. Taya Conti refused it and kicked the chair outside, won the bout on her own. Here in this bout, Anna Jay asked for a chair from Tayanara, which she reluctantly gave, as you just said, only to get a Singapore cane from a fellow Dark Order member, which is the property of Hikaru Shida. And genius, I should say, genius by Anna Jay, attacking the legs of Hikaru Shida, neutralizing her offense, neutralizing her finisher, that is the Tamashi running knee strike. Brilliant. Brilliant as far as she could do. But Shida was even better as she no sold any damage whatsoever being done to her courtesy of the Singapore cane. Typical indie bullshit. There was not even a blimp of a limp when she hit her Tamashi knee strike. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Indie bullshit. And Hikaru Shida is our world champion, our world women's champion. She won
Well,
via pinfall.
well, you have to also consider that Hikaru Shida is no Matt Jackson. So shall we get to what happened post match here?
Yes, yes, yes.
So post match, Shida was celebrating on the stage, but out comes Abaddon as Shida gets scared. So Abaddon, so she takes the women's championship and licks it, signifying that we'll be having a Shida and Abaddon program for the championship. But the thing is, so Abaddon is just like the female version of Bray Wyatt.
Hmm.
Okay, great gimmick, but in ring voice, Puski bomb.
Hmm. But I would like to say that the characters which were over the top, they have sold tickets, they have made the fans invested. So giving them the championship would not be the worst idea in the world. You can go so far to an audience with your in-ring skills, but if you have a character which is so compelling, which transcends the wrestling audience also, that could very well be a great addition to your television programming. And right now, why are they going with Abaddon? That is also thing because it is happening throughout the top promotions of the world. In Impact Wrestling, they are doing this with Su Young, Suzy, and Diana Prazo. In WWE, they are doing it with Alexa Bliss and The Fiend. So, this obsession of this such a character is happening throughout the top promotions of America. So I would give that because they are basically the other promotions are thinking that this kind of a character sells to the audience. This kind of character is being accepted by the audience. So right now it is the time that the iron is hot and we have to strike the hammer right now. And that could also possibly be the reason of the that sudden title change which happened with Su Young and Diana Perazzo. I thought that Diana Perazzo would be having a lengthy title run as she is such a talented woman and she had such a great technical prowess. She would be having a lengthy title run, and she was having a championship bout with who was the lady who just retired.
Gail Kim,
No, no, no.
Jazz,
That bubbly
Kylie Ray,
girl, the bubbly girl.
Kylie Ray.
Yes, Kylie Ray, who no showed or possibly something happened that she was about to lose or maybe some plans changed, something happened, whatever the fuck that happened. They
But
brought
as
So
per
Young and they got the title change. And it is happening throughout. WWE is doing it with Alexa Bliss and it is succeeding with the fans. They are accepting her. And Abaddon could have been on AEW television weeks ago, but she got injured on Dark. It was announced a week prior that she was about to compete on AEW Dynamite next week. But in the midst of the week, we got uh, a social media post with regards to her injury. So it got a little bit delayed. We could have had her some weeks ago. So this thing with regards to such a dark women character, whether it is Su Young, whether it's Abaddon, whether it's Alexa Bliss, it is right now the hottest thing possibly in wrestling.
let's see how the Abaddon character works in AEW.
I want that to succeed because when I saw her on AW Dynamite for the first time, I was very much impressed by whatever her look and what she did. And many of the fans who saw, they were also impressed by what she looked and what she can do possibly. And such characters are great addition to the television programming.
From that, we had the iconic Matt Hardy cutting a promo. So basically, his current stick is that he credits himself for everyone's success in AEW, whether be it Young Bucks or maybe taking credit for Pentagon's gimmick.
Pentagon's gimmick.
So that's what happened in this week's Being the Elite. So he credited himself for coming up with Pentagon's gimmick, Zero Fear. Basically, he's being a dick right now.
All right. Okay.
We had another promo segment. We had Ricky Starks cutting a great promo. He talks about what happened with Taz and says Cody Rhodes is the main problem here. And he also hypes up his upcoming tag team match that's gonna be happening next week. We were from that we were supposed to get a new segment from Miro and Kip Sabian, but Orange Cassidy interferes. Best friends then come in, and we get a big brawl here. So I think we are. This could be leading up to a gimmick match between these two teams here, just like what they did with Proud and Powerful.
Possibly, possibly. It can, it can. And it is basically what happened was that last week and from pre weeks prior also, you have said relentlessly that you are not sold on this character of Miro and Kip Sabian. So they tried to do something today and it got ruined by the best friends and Orange Cassidy. So you should hate Best Friends and Orange Cassidy right now, because they are the ones who didn't let you get invested in Miro and Kip Sabian, and obviously who isn't invested in Penelope Ford.
Instead, I will thank Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, and let's move on.
All
Yeah,
right.
the contract signing for the AEW World Championship match. So Kenny Omega was supposed to get his big entrance, but out comes John Moxley, and he attacks Omega. So in the ring, Moxley lays down the AEW Championship. Omega reaches out to it, but Moxley stomps on his end and he hits the Death Rider, not the Paradigm Shift, the Death Rider on the title. So Moxley afterwards then cut a promo on Omega saying that he needs to dig deep inside and find the real Kenny Omega that everyone is talking about. He says it's not a game and he's coming for Omega because when you come at the king, you best not miss.
Hmm. I guess this promo got ruined by the piped crowd noise, if I'm not wrong.
Not so much, but it was more that was happening inside the ring that uh, didn't, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
It didn't get your attention diverted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But for me, the crowd noise here was very irritating. It 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 even ruined what he said. John Moxley said, and I think that it didn't get me invested at all in his bout, which is next week. What I am thinking about right now is with regards to this segment is it was short and it was effective. The only effective thing which was there was that Death Rider on the belt.
Championship.
Yes, that was it. Whatever he said, it got ruined. It got ruined completely from the crowd noise, which was mismatched, which was missynced, which was not at all in sync. And his words also were not very much effective because probably it was in his head, or maybe it is on in everybody's head, that the fact is that people are already sold that two of the best are fighting next week. Then why the hell am I saying anything? Or possibly it is also in the minds of many talents that I am losing the belt next week. Why the fuck am I selling this bout right now? It gets to the head of many people, but nonetheless, I'm not taking that here. But the Death Rider was the only thing which was effective in that promo, in my opinion. Whatever he said there, it didn't translate to me. It didn't came here. He said the things. I agree. Whatever he said, the camera work, the crowd, the piped crowd noise, everything made it completely ruined. It was ruined. It got ruined. It got ruined. But hopefully, and quite possibly, I am an optimist. I think that next week's match would make up for everything what happened here.
You're lucky that you don't watch WWE programming regularly. Because if you hear that Thunderdome crowd noise, then you would have loved this segment here.
I thank my lucky stars. I I don't watch that. I am very much you can say I am not a hater, and I am not a you can say a very much in here in India we say that a cutter AEW follower, that I hate everything WWE or something like that. No, if you are a WWE watcher or something like that, an avid watcher, I have no qualms with you. Watch that because it is wrestling, it is professional wrestling. We love professional wrestling. It is an art, it is a sport. Watch that. But I do not get now the urge to watch that now. I simply don't, so I do not. Even if things there are happening which are good with the likes of Roman Reigns or other stuff, they are happening, and I'm quite satisfied with that. It is good, it is great. Kudos to WWE for that. But I'm very much satisfied with watching here AEW.
So we get to the main event here: Butcher and Blade versus Pac and Ray Phoenix. So they start with a quick brawl at the stage. And you can you help me with what happened in the uh, other stuff that happened here?
Uh, Basically, I do not have the complete rundown with regards to this match. The notes which I have made with regards to this match is that basically the story was that the Death Triangle is back. Penta, El Zero Miedo, Ray Phoenix, and Pac is back. They are a team. They are back, and Eddie Kingston, his wrestling family, has now shrinked by two members. Now, I think that his motivation for Penta El Zero Miedo was not wrong, in my opinion. That whatever he said these things on commentary when commentators asked him that what did you say with regards to Penta Zero Miedo, and you were trying to draw a wedge between Ray Phoenix and Penta. So I think that he was just trying to motivate Penta, and I do not think that it was quite wrong because he was just pushing Penta into a singles career, and it could it would be great. That was in the head of Eddie Kingston, and going to a singles career and not be in his flippy glory hog brother's shadow. Was his intention wrong? Probably not. What is the problem for the fans? It was the wink. Huh?
Yep.
It was the wink. And, and it was that how could you separate a brother tag team? They are brothers, they are bonded by blood. How can you separate them? Not everyone wants to be like the Young Bucks, that is mediocre and unambitious. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got that. And with regards to the match, Pac looked amazing. No ring rust whatsoever. And there was a great out of the box power lariat by Butcher on Pac that was just mwah, bam. It just he Pac went inside out. That was just mind-boggling. And Eddie Kingston was, in my opinion, a welcome menace on commentary. He is welcome anytime. He, I just enjoy his presence on commentary. And he also influenced the outcome of the match. He tripped Ray Phoenix on the top turnbuckle, and which got the victory for his team. And It is great. Eddie Kingston's presence is necessary because he is an integral part of the story. And he tripping only Phoenix also is, you can say, logical because he has a vendetta against Phoenix. He was possibly, in the words of people like you, drawing a wedge between Penta and Phoenix against Phoenix. So it is only fitting that he tripped Phoenix. That's good. And those he dropped a pack on the steel chair. That was just, oh my God. Damn. Pack sold it like a fucking $1 million. Kudos. Kudos to Pack. I was with regards to the match and the post match. We also saw Lance Archer coming to the fray out of nowhere, which nobody expected. I didn't expect. Did you? Did you expect Lance Archer coming?
What actually I didn't expect was him killing Blade with an insane looking crossbow.
This is seriously. That was something. Lance Archer. Now it seems that he is a badass babyface, possibly, and he came to the aid of the Death Triangle. Awesome, awesome stuff. I have no qualms against that. It is always great to see him. He's a legit monster, great talent, and he should be on television. He's a guy, he should be on television. He has a mouthpiece who is also great in his own right, and it is great to see him. And his issues with Eddie Kingston also go back. It goes back till the Casino Battle Royale when they were in the last two, and it got a bit controversial on social media when it was said that Eddie was not eliminated and he didn't went over the top rope. And then we have heard many a times Eddie Kingston call out Lance Archer in his promos. And there has been back and forth, and we have seen Lance Archer scouting talent in the crowd and Eddie Kingston being at ringside. So it was about to happen that there would have been some interaction between the two competitors. So it is great that in this program we have Pac, we have Lance Archer, we have Eddie Kingston, we have Penta El Zero Miedo, we have Ray Phoenix, we have Butcher and Blade, we have Ali, who is a bunny, of course. So it is a great thing here. They have a great thing here.
So now it's 4 versus 3, right?
Four, uh, 4 versus 3. On
Like
one side,
Archer
mm,
and Dead Triangle, and the
hmm,
other side Kingston, Butcher, Blade.
hmm,
So if that's the case, then I think Kingston's gonna look for that fourth member.
hmm. So who will that fourth member be?
Maybe a new guy that we don't expect.
Hmm, possibly. We'll have
Screw,
to
screw,
wait
screw
and
it.
see.
Get Conan in AEW.
That would be great. That would be great.
So that was Dynamite.
Yes, that was dynamite.
Like I
Was
said, it was a decent Dynamite. But about the review we did here, it was something else. Like you blasted the unbox completely. We also had a little interference from my mom. Very crazy review here. So before we, where can these guys find you?
uh, Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at AbbeyManiac, ABBYMANIAC. And currently, I'm working with an independent wrestling promotion in India called Wrestle Square. You can follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestle Square. And you can also subscribe to their YouTube channel. New episodes every Saturday at Wrestle Square Pro Wrestling.
You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamhubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based, and if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch Slamhub Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was the AEW Dynamite review, and we'll see you guys next time.